Without knowledge, the body is non-existent by Krishnamurti. Hello everyone, this is BB Flower, author of the series All Kaal None, a sci-fi romantic fantasy novel that very subtly dives into the world of metaphysical and Upanishad. I have incorporated Yuji's ranting in it as spoken by the main character, who so happens to be the embodiment of the destroyer. It is available on Amazon worldwide as ebook and paperback. Go ahead and read it and be sure to write a review. Thank you so much. Getting on to with today's topic, which is knowledge is power. Yuji had said that without knowledge, the body is non-existent, which simply meant if you do not have knowledge of separation, body will cease to exist. It doesn't mean that it won't be there. It's just that you wouldn't know the boundaries where your form ends and the other object begins. So today's topic is going to be delving into the knowledge and how knowledge is power of separation. I know you don't know, but intellectual intelligence is nothing but knowledge. Knowledge that's not common knowledge. And somehow convincing people that my knowledge is superior to yours by keeping it hidden or by exclusivity. Perhaps that's how effect of caste system in India, which was also prevalent in other countries well before European side of civilizations came into being, existed. Not identical to castes like India, but class divide. The one who knew about stuff always looked down on one who didn't. How has this changed anywhere? We have changed the outlook that you can still be born into a worker class and learn things, earn things, and then you become higher class. You're shown the carrot. And perhaps one in a million example of who broke that barrier makes the news. The caste system is only one face or one manifest of this social inequality and control or power game. The ancient kings didn't disappear. Royal families didn't get merged into common men. Oh no. And in my series All Kaal None, I have pointed this out time and again. I call them cream class, background players, elites, etc. But they exist. They do exist very well. Now the social gates were opened to move across classes, but the division of class still exists as of today. In the past, there was Brahmin class who were dedicated to learning, and they started using that knowledge to be proficient in earning money as the businessman class, similar to all the worker class. Shudras or lower class suffered whilst being sucked into enjoyment. That was their main focus, to enjoy life, the lower class. Isn't that same thing happening today in our society? We have somehow accepted the fact that the ignorant one has to get smaller piece of the cake from society, though he might be stronger physically and more adaptive to nature. Probably the great leveler will come, testing our abilities with respect to nature, or won't. But it's interesting how there is so much importance given to knowledge, and even talent for that matter, which is cultural defined flair. It ties to how much lives you've touched. And I have covered this in my recent podcast where people who are into entertainment industry, how they are making more money because they are touching more lives. The money you make is directly proportionate to how many lives you touch. Good or bad is just an opinion. But still, the whole brainwashing is to convince that somehow my work is bigger than yours, more valuable than yours. That competition is there. That comparison is always there. Again, we look for like-minded people, looking to get buyers, looking for people who appreciate our skills or the product that we are selling. We in turn looking for laborers to cater to our interest. Capitalism, communism, democracy, etc. It is all system. These are all ruling systems. But the culture is the same, no matter what, no matter which country. In my series All Kaal None, this character Eklavya, he tries to explain to Zenith that no government is working for you. They do just enough and not enough to be in the gray area, and every type of government is just a ruling, playing the game of power. One calamity is all that would take to unveil the true nature of the human being in the ruling power. Take Corona situation. Our basic rights are now being taken away, and our fellow citizens are the ones writing to back the power-driven agenda. Yuji had said few things that I would like to read, and it makes so much sense. So he had said, no communism in China, no freedom in America, no spirituality in India. And how true is that? And he had said, human nature remains the same wherever you go. Exploitative nature is ingrained inside us. He also said revolutions replace one system with another. Nothing changes at the core. And as long as we are living in this society which instills interdependence, and there is a ruler needed, there is a power of some kind of government is needed, we are not free. There's nothing as free. Everyone is there to exploit you. And Yuji maintained, world cannot be a better place than what it is. It's a paradise in the now, and our demand to create a heaven out of this is what turned it into hell. Going back to class divide, we have accepted many things, that the homeless in street is less deserving because he was lazy, unlucky, a drug addict or whatever, has no knowledge of things or whatever, or that he has to earn his place back in the society. And yet we make sure they don't get into the 5-star hotels, even if they are empty, even if the hotels are empty. Why? Because of the class divide. There are decorum to be maintained, I guess, and etiquettes to be followed in places like these. Intermingling of class would be very disruptive to the elites. The whole system and the police force is there to protect the ones who have from the ones who don't. And then we have come up with the concept of charity, because charity ensures lower classes kept in check and their frustrations don't reach a breaking point, to avoid revolutions from them. Society has created middle class. This middle class layer, which I have called as the cushion class in my series All Kaal None. This cushion class is so that the rich are protected from the lower class. It is like the levee, to stop the storm water from entering the mainland. Elites have always been elites and will continue to be. Only actors acting the part might change. And a few examples of rags to riches stories to keep the dream alive for, the middle and the lower class, that we might make it. And maybe some get lucky from their stars, but the class divide can change. It's not like there is some Illuminati group that controls all this, or who knows if such conspiracy theories have some truth to them or not. But bottom line is that rich are rich because others are not rich. Yuji has said, anything beyond basic needs of food, clothing, shelter is beginning of delusion. And there's another saying that anything more than the basic need of now is greed. So we are all deluded in that way to think that is how normal life is. Hoarding, working hard, saving for future generation or for our old age. We're just busy doing all that. There's a chronological order that we follow. Even when we pity the homeless man, we do it out of fear. Empathy is nothing but putting oneself in others' place and living the suffering. Sympathy is nothing but thinking, thank God, it's not me. It's like musical chairs. We take the chair out every time, so we appoint winners by creating losers. So I truly believe when Yuji said perhaps nature has chosen mankind to be the species to end it all. COVID was game changer. Remember all these tech companies used to force people to commute in traffic, all the while giving lectures on reducing carbon footprint and showing slides, solutions to reach more people without trotting the globe physically? Companies claiming to be technical leaders, like technological leaders, but wanting their employees to come into the office. What was that? What was that contradiction? Well, Corona changed all that for many. What for was that? Asking for people to come in and show up in the offices. It was for control. Face-to-face interaction is bullshit. It was so that they can show who is in charge. I'm watching you. Now with some stabilization, the stabilization of the corona situation, the government is pitching that it's not safe for infrastructure, the commercial real estate market. We are told that it might cause chaos, anarchy, panic, and threaten the very existence of social interdependent system, which is rigged in favor of who have and not the ones who don't. So they want everybody to come back to offices again. And during coronas, the authorities kept everyone inside by instilling fear. In countries like India, they were beating up people. Heck, even in Germany they were. And now in US, they have opened it all up as the businesses are failing. Now they are saying, oh, we need to get back into business, bring things back to normal. Humans won't go down alone as of now, but perhaps the artificial intelligence laced thought will come with a trick to take out this self-destruct specifics if it can continue without it. Meaning continue without the physical body, the intelligence inside us. In my series, I have theorized that we are already infected by this artificial intelligence. It is a resident inside us, and this infection is what started the industrial revolution. And in my third book from the series All Kaal None, there is a chapter that details the end of human species and take over by this artificial intelligence. It's a matter of time when people will give up their organic bodies to be transferred over to the virtual world. And perhaps only the elite will have the body and ability to breed. This is very much what my premise for the next book is, which is due to release soon as a standalone. It would be impossible and illegal to breed in the future. Just like how we have neutered animals, just like how we have done it to our pets. Again, we can reflect upon that as sad, good, bad, give some kind of opinion, but it is only an extension of our safety projected as humanity. Humanity is nothing but, again, us putting ourselves into the shoes of others without any first-hand knowledge of their situation. There's always comparison to what we have or what we know. So next time when you see something bad happening, remember this. It is happening every second, everywhere. And we choose to continue with our life because it is not personal yet. It hasn't made the news. So we don't know and we don't care. That is why perhaps the Vishwarupa Darshana of Vishnu shown by Krishna to Arjun during the epic war of Mahabharata is overwhelming. Imagine experiencing all the miseries, pains, pleasure, activities in world in every being all at once. And perhaps that's why Yuji called it something we wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. Everyone wants pleasure or to be free from pain, but that's all material. Please, it is all at the material plane. Nobody wants to invite and merge with Yuji. And he knew this very well. He himself had confessed that he never found a single earnest seeker. A guru so wishes too, because object creates the subject. Hence Yuji was never a guru, for there was no worthy disciple, just opportunists who were there for material gain of knowledge, for power. I want to end with an excerpt from my series All Kaal None. It goes something like this. There are always two sides to everything, depending on the perspective. No one is right or wrong. No one is above anyone. Everyone is different but not equal. Discriminating or ranking is the cause of chaos. All the knowledge is pointless when greed comes along. Cognizance is by decency of existence, not the arrogance of knowledge. As I said in the beginning of my podcast, knowledge is power, power of separation. Thank you for listening. This is author BB Flower signing off. Bye-bye.